Welcome to Module 7. We already have a lecture built into our shell this week. Robert McMillan, who is one of the instructors we have at PCC, but also does many videos online for other companies as well, has prepared a lecture for us on cloud security basics. And it's a really easy lecture to listen to. He really gets down to the basics as though you really know nothing about clouds. So that's nice. There are three models that we'll be looking at, and some of you may already be familiar with them. Here's a graph or a chart that I really like on Microsoft's site. This is azure.microsoft.com, EN-US overview. What is PAAS? With dashes in what is PAAS? I'm sure this chart is also on similar pages about IaaS and SaaS, but essentially this chart gives you a real nice overview of what each of these includes. So infrastructure as a service here includes the physical plant and building, the networking and firewall devices, the servers and storage devices. But you don't actually have operating systems on those servers. You just have basically physical equipment. With Platform as a Service, or PaaS, you also get an operating system and usually other software that goes along with it. We call it middleware, the database software and that kind of thing. Not end-user software, but software that you as a business would use. And then Software as a Service would include end-user software, such as Office 365, for example. So that's the real simple, quick look at what these three models are, and you'll learn more about those as we go through this section. Down here we're going to have that lecture video that I was just talking about with Robert McMillan, and then a short video on cloud computing itself. And Roberts is on cloud security, although he does introduce some of the concepts of how the cloud works as well. And then two articles, I believe it is, in here that you'll need to read. Once you've gone through all three of these, I think that you'll find the quiz pretty easy, actually. When I went through the quiz, I recognized real quickly all of the stuff that was in these resources that I read. You'll do an article review this week, so that gives you a chance to go out and explore some cloud topic of interest to you. And then in the assignment this week, it's really just an essay this week. So not as much hands-on. It's just a short essay. What's the cloud? Where is the cloud? Yeah, it's really interesting. One time I was reading a book about the cloud early on when I was first learning about the cloud, and the question right at the front of the book was, what is the cloud? And the answer is, it isn't. It's just somebody else's computer. And that's really all it is. It's just a remote computer, or a set of remote computers, rather than your own on-premise computers, whether you're an individual or a large organization. It just means I'm borrowing somebody else's computer and paying them for time to use it. So the cloud is really that simple when you really boil it down. The big thing to remember, though, is that it's not cloud-like. They are physical servers. One time I was talking about training in schools with we were working on some course design and so on, and I wanted to have physical equipment in the classroom for a lab or for several labs, and the school asked me, or a representative of the school asked me, well, why, when people are using the cloud instead of physical equipment today? And my answer was, guess what the cloud is? It's physical equipment. And our students also need to be ready to go out and work in a data center with real physical equipment. So they still have to learn operating systems. They still have to learn troubleshooting and data processing, data storage, all of those kinds of things. because there's a real physical world out there that is the cloud. And so keep that in mind, that your job someday may be in a data center, not in some company that that needs you for their local server. So you'll talk about that a little bit here, that kind of thing in this. What are some of the security issues, and what is the cloud? Where is the cloud? The security issues, when you think about it, should jump out at you. If I don't have possession of the equipment and I don't have possession of the storage, who does? And what's going on with that? If I'm sharing a server, as you may already know, anytime you delete a file, that file still has pieces of it, in fact most of it, left over in the space that it used to occupy until it's overwritten. Well, if I'm sharing a server with another company, then are my deleted files or is my data vulnerable to a hacker from that other company being able to access my data on that same server that we're sharing? So you can see immediately that there are lots and lots of problems with the cloud security. Anytime we're transferring data back and forth between my local company and that cloud service, that server that is remote, since it is remote, we have to use networking. Well, there are lots of places along networking where signals and data can be picked up and read and tampered with and so on. So all of network security comes into play, as well as all the server security that we're already using, as well as the issues of remote people and other companies that may have access to our stuff. So in some high secure organizations, you don't use the cloud simply because you want the control of that security. Well, I know that a lot of this is covered by the other materials in here, so I'm not going to continue on and on. I will let you have at it at this point. So, as I said, a very short introduction this time from me, and the rest of it you'll be seeing on your own. So good luck. If you have questions about the cloud or any of this other stuff, feel free to write to me, let me know, and I will do my best to help you. I'm here for you because that's what I do. So thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you on the other side.